Okay, so I am just going to get started right away because I have kid duty in a couple minutes. But I wanted to, and for those of you that are watching the replay, whether it's on YouTube or IGTV, thank you for watching this replay. And I am currently live as I record this, so you might see me respond to some comments, but just stick with me here. So the first thing that I want to say is I just was doing a meditation because one of the things that I find super, super important, especially if you're trying to find, serenity, or maybe you feel a spiritual calling, like you need to connect, or like, you have something to tap into, meditation is always going to be the first step. And when I was doing this meditation, I found how interesting it is that, I used to struggle so much with being still for 2 minutes. Like a 5-minute meditation felt like an eternity to me. And now I was doing a guided meditation that someone sent me that was 16 minutes long, and I didn't even fret. Before I would have been like, whoa, no way. So, that goes to show you that just like anything, it's like exercising a muscle, okay? So don't be discouraged if you never meditated before, or you tried and you couldn't stop thinking, or you couldn't figure it out, or you were tapped out by 2 minutes. It's really like training yourself to run a marathon. You don't start by running a marathon. You start by doing a quarter mile, a tenth of a mile, whatever it takes for you to get to where you're going, right? But stick with it. Stick with the meditation practice. And start it if you haven't. Give it a shot, okay? So I was doing this guided meditation, and, I find that I used to really rely heavily on them, but because I couldn't really be still and I couldn't stop my mind, so they would almost distract me and tell me what to do. Now I find that guided meditations actually are harder for me because my connection wants to go other places, not where these people are telling me to go. So again, it's like a training, if you will. But I'm doing this guided meditation, and it's asking me to chant different Sanskrit things, right? And I'm doing it, and I'm like, something is like, stop the meditation, pause it. They're going to ring the bell. He said, I'm going to ring the bell after X amount of time. And it was like, you don't want him to ring a bell because you have to tap in. You have a message to receive, and that bell's going to pull you away. So I paused the meditation and start to have a powerful connection. And I'll spare a lot of the details, but I will say that the message that I got was about Earth, about planet Earth, okay? So it was kind of crazy. I've never had a connection like that before, where I felt like I was looking at Earth from space and having things explained to me about the planet. But that's what happened. So it was like I was looking, I was traveling out of Earth, right? I was in space, and then somehow I landed, I wasn't floating in space. I was in something where I was looking through a massive window at Earth, through the window. And I saw a division, if you will, like a line that originally looked like it was vertical through the center of Earth this way. But then I started to see what looked like, imagine if you were looking at Earth from space and it started to become frozen, right? It would be big white chunks, right? So I started to see then a division from north to south, and I saw white chunks being slowly applied to the northern hemisphere. And I was like, whoa, I don't like this. I don't want to hear this. This sounds like it could be scary. I don't want to hear that Earth is being frozen over. But then it was no, that's not it. What we're experiencing is, and I don't know how literal it is, but I would say it's pretty general. The northern hemisphere is colder, the southern hemisphere is hot, right? And it was the northern hemisphere is where a lot of the energies that are trying to block light from coming in are residing, right? That's why some people are I'm going south, right? And now it's making sense. So it was they're going to try to block the light. They're trying to stop the light to come in. They're trying to plug it, but it's not going to work. Number one, ice melts. So one of the big messages that came through was that by summer, I know different west and east hemisphere summers at different times, but I'm going off of my time zone, which is East Coast America, is that by summer when things heat up, we're going to see big progress for Earth as far as all the things that are trickling in, okay? As far as getting out of this dense energy period of time. Another thing was the volcano. So when I was done this meditation, I literally had to go Google where, because I'm not good at geography at all. I don't know where anything is. I had to go Google where this underwater volcano was and then go on maps on my phone and see if it was like north or south. And it was Tonga, which is near Africa or in Africa or something. And it's definitely south. But the message that I got about that like goes with it. It was like this underwater volcano. Number one, think about it, right? When we think of the ocean, it is so vast and so powerful, right? The ocean can wipe us completely out in the blink of an eye. We do not stand a chance against water in that way. But it was like this underwater fire element had the power to make such an impact through a massive body of water. That itself says a lot. I was thinking that yesterday. But the way that it came through for me was like, so with the southern hemisphere, associating heat and the melting of the cold and the melting of ice with the disintegration of the darkness, right? So think of like southern hemisphere, heat, fire, light being what we need to disintegrate the cool, dark, icy energies and move away from dense up until the light, right? So this fire is coming through literally from the fucking core of Earth, okay? Saying, fuck this big body of water, I'm still coming, okay? And it's the ultimate heat source, right? And like it's coming up and it's making such an impact, and it's also affecting the water. So different parts of the world were getting warnings to get away from the shore, right? So the message that I got was, however you were affected by this volcano, whether you were by it literally in the southern hemisphere on that side of Earth, or if you are going to have more any type of weather impact from it, because it's transitioning to a water impact, right? Because it came from the ocean. Any way that it's transmuting through the world and climate, even if it's not coming to you in the form of fire, but it's coming to you in the form of water, that it is a purification, and it is a sign of releasing densities, releasing build-up tension from the inside of Earth, and then being cleansed with water. Like, holy cow. Okay. It was really powerful. So I just wanted to share that with you. Usually I just come in with a card reading, but that message was so strong, and my 60-second reel did not cover it at all. So I wanted to really go deep into that with this. If you're just signing on the replay, I'm going to post this so you can go back and listen to this again, okay? If you missed the message that I just said that I got through meditation. But it was a very powerful, very hopeful. Basically, like, ice does not stand a chance once heat comes in. You can try to cover something with ice and freeze it all you want, but once you bring it to the fire, once you bring it to the heat, once you bring it to the sun, it is going to melt. There is nothing that can be done about it. You cannot, the ice cannot say, no, this wasn't a dream. This was a meditation. Like 10 minutes ago. There's nothing that ice can do to stand a chance against fire, okay? And the fire showed the power that it has even through water, which is supposed to like put fire out, that it can like, no, this cleansing, this purification is happening, which connects to another meditation I had the other day where it was like connecting your roots down to the core. And I was thinking of my religious conditioning and how I was literally conditioned to think that hell resides at the core of Earth, that fire is bad and the core of Earth is bad, and anything that represents fire or heat or the core of Earth is evil. And it is like such the opposite. Like, think about the core of yourself. This planet that we live on, we rely on her core to live. Without her core, Earth would not exist. This planet would not sustain. We would all die. Like, it would not work. It is literally the heart of our planet. It is such a beautiful and important place to connect to. I'm getting chills up and down my body. So if you resonate with that conditioning, like, it needs to be released, because that is a conditioning that was brought down through generations, through man, through conditioning, through control, money, power. That is not from God. God did not create the core of Earth to be evil. That is where the heartbeat, the pulse of Earth is, literally. So it was really, really powerful. So hopefully that resonates. If not, it will later. So let's get the cards out for the week ahead. Yeah, that was cool. Wasn't expecting that. I thought I was going to do a quick little insight timer to get zen before I did these card readings. And it was like, nope, we're bringing you big things. Okay. So I am just going to send this card reading message now for you guys. So what is the energy for the week ahead? Okay, so today is January 16th. Okay. So right off the bat, I'm getting like, don't worry about connecting to the fire, right? Don't like, I know that sounds silly what I'm saying, what I just said before, but fire is in like action with passions. And if you feel like you are not like figuring out what you need to do, all right, hold on, they're coming out. So I'm trying to like focus on two things at once. Give me a second. Okay. We Gucci now. So, Ace of Wands reversed, Queen of Cups. So what I'm getting from this is like, if you've been feeling like you don't know what your next step to take is, maybe you feel like you're meant for more, you're supposed to do something more. I feel like I'm supposed to be having all these ideas, what my next step is, because it's obviously energetically worldwide, like a new shift, right? That you're not going to get those ideas, you're not going to get that passion, you're not going to get that new opportunity until you tap into your intuition. So kind of how I was just saying, like, you know, when I was about to do the reading, I was like, let me do a quick meditation before I do. It's because I understand the importance of, now I understand the importance, I didn't always, of being still to receive the messages that you need to hear. Like, I'm working heavily on this offering, for example, where I'm going to help guide people through and teach people through and mentor people through spiritual awakening. And I'm not rushing it. And my inner like masculine energy, like hustle vibe that I've been trained to think is the way things have to be is like, come on, you need the offering. It's taking too long. But my soul is like, no, I'm not forcing it. I'm allowing it to come to me. And I was like telling my husband yesterday how, you know, it's hard when Elliot doesn't let me get out of bed in the morning because I need that quiet time as a spiritualpreneur, because that's when I'm going to receive my downloads for how I'm supposed to bring this to you guys. This isn't something that I can sit there with a pen and paper and figure out. This needs to come divinely to me, and that is how we are being called to operate now. Not just me, like you as well. Everybody in the planet is being called to connect to their light, to connect, okay? So, you know, if you're feeling blocked, if you're feeling like you're not feeling very passionate, you don't know what step to take next, please use this time to connect to your intuition. And it's no coincidence that I was just saying when I opened this, how, you know, you have to be patient with yourself when trying to start a meditation practice or a prayer practice. I meditate and pray together. I start everything with a prayer. I connect to God. I connect to white light. I connect to cleansing energy. I only connect to divine. You know, I vocalize that. I affirm that. And then I go into my trance state, okay? So that's really, really important. And the Page of Swords, again, now this is in reverse. This is telling me don't try to collect too much information as in like logic. Like, don't try to like study too much. Don't try to take too many courses on how to meditate. Like, just go inside. Stop seeking information from outside to then bring inside to try to process. All the information is already inside of you. You need to connect to that. The Knight of Swords is in reverse. The Two of Pentacles is in reverse. And the Queen of Wands is in reverse. This is like big, like, you know, I don't know if everybody that's listening is, you know, aware of these shifts, but like the big thing that's happening in 2022, I know, my hair. And it's funny, it was like all cute last night. I slept on it and my room is so hot. Sorry if you're watching the replay, someone's commenting on my hair. My room is so hot because in order for my daughter's room to be comfortable, my room has to be a sauna. So I was like sweating and it's still like, I'm like, okay. But anyway, back to business. So we've been operating in a masculine energy for a long time. So what does masculine energy mean? Like I was saying before, that hard work. You have to work hard. You have to grind. You have to sacrifice. You have to go run yourself into the ground to achieve success. You have to do. And that feeling where we condition ourselves so much, where we have anxiety if we're not constantly doing, sacrificing, hustling. We're not always seeing results. We're constantly then telling ourselves, I am not good enough. If I need to rest, I am not good enough. If I'm not getting results fast enough, I am not good enough, right? That's a lie. That's not the way things are supposed to be. And it's shifting. But like any shift in any integration, we have to go through this worldwide process of cleansing, of releasing. Now you got to think, we come from not that long ago either, a time where, and we still face some of it today, man was power and the woman was like, she's the one that kept things together. She had no real purpose. She wasn't really worth anything. That is toxic masculinity, suppressing the divine feminine. Okay, so any organization, I'm going to put it lightly, any organization, even if they claim to connect to the God and everything, if it is ever telling you that feminine is less than and masculine is higher, that is coming from a human program. That is not coming from God. Okay? We need, just like the yin and the yang, literally the yin and the yang symbol, the white, it represents femininity and masculinity. And it's, the whole point is balance. Masculine is the go, go, go. Feminine is the do, is the receive, is the love, is the holding, the space holding. Okay? So like, think of like masculine throws the boomerang. If you don't have feminine, no one's there to catch it. What's the point of throwing boomerangs if you're not going to get it when it comes back around? What's the point of ordering your package if you're not going to be home to receive it? You're just going to leave it on the front step. Okay? Because you're constantly like, I got to order more packages, got to throw more boomerangs. That is not a way to live. How many of us have missed so many crucial parts of our life because we've been hustling? How many of us have missed so many important moments that we'll never get back? How many of us have blinked our eyes and looked back and go, wow, 5 years went by? What even happened? Maybe you lost memory. I don't have memory of a lot of stuff I should have memory of because I was never fully here in my body. I was always in my mind about what's next, what can I do next, what do I have to do next, what's on my to-do list, that I was never here. And that hits different when you blink and 5 years ago, your son was a newborn and now he's 5 and you're like, whoa, where was I? Okay? I don't want to do that in 20 years and be like, what did I miss? I choose to be present now, and the planet is being called to be present now. And some of you are probably feeling that in different ways. And I'm here to remind you that it's safe to slow down, okay? That you can actually do less and get more. We are being called to align to soul work, not hustle work, okay? I have so much. I mean, think about it. I built an online empire. I built 6 figures from my social media with an online empire, but I do not align with the hustle anymore. So I'm still a part of it, but I will not subscribe to the idea that everything that calls my soul and is important to my soul has to be put on the back burner while I do that, because I will never stop. I will never stop. I will never be fulfilled. I will never be satiated. It's the idea that once you achieve a certain part, you'll be fulfilled and then you can be present. But it's not true, because if you don't make space for the feminine vibe, the feminine energy, you will never be satiated. You can have both, is my point. You don't have to give one up. I don't have to give up the 6 figures, the empire, the business, even though I'm totally being called to a different path right now. You don't have to give that up. I'm not saying you have to be unsuccessful. I'm saying that you can be successful and work hard, but also be present and integrate the feminine, where that work hard kind of shifts to intentional work that is smarter, not harder. Intentional work that takes less time, because you are intentional, and you also are no longer allowing yourself the space to think, if I am resting and if I am present and if I am enjoying myself, that I must be doing something wrong because I'm supposed to hustle all the time. I'm supposed to work all the time. How can I make more? How can I do more? Bring the two together, okay? That is, and it's going to take time, and there's going to be shifts. Okay, and there's going to be periods where it feels like things are going slow and, oh my God, am I making the wrong choice? You have to trust where your soul is calling you to go. And if I was using my logic right now, it would say, well, you should be going, because look at what you could do with that. You could now be making $1 million a year. But I just can't. I have to, and I'm speaking for myself, but all of us, whatever your career is, whatever your work ethic is like, it's called to be a balance. We shouldn't walk around with this feeling that if I am enjoying myself and being still for a minute, that I'm missing something, that I'm doing something wrong. And also bringing in a balance of the two too, that if you toxic femininity, you could have been living in your toxic femininity where you're doing nothing and you've been doing nothing and you're just waiting for it to come to you, aka like laziness would be a 3D way to put toxic femininity. It's about integrating all of it together, okay? So what I'm getting from this next row is slow the down, okay? I have Knight of Swords in reverse, which is saying stop reacting so quickly. Stop thinking you have to go, that you have to fly. I have Two of Pentacles in reverse, which is saying your biggest struggle is trying to, is putting down the juggling act. Your biggest struggle is like, I can put this down. I don't have to juggle it all anymore. I don't have to constantly be doing a crazy dance while the world behind me is tumultuous and falling apart. And I'm just trying to keep it together. Like, it's fine. It's saying the hardest part is doing that and putting that down, but you need to, because you need to get wow. This card, the Queen of Wands, is like the ultimate feminine energy power card in your solar plexus, confidence, life's purpose, like full alignment. We need to get her upright and balanced. And I just fucking said that. I didn't even look at that card yet. Slow down, stop juggling, put the things down, like allow it all to come together, and then that will balance out for you. Okay. The biggest thing that you have to do, truly, is this is enough. I didn't even see this. This is what I'm saying. I wrote somewhere yesterday, I don't remember where, that like I love my cards. My cards have been my thing literally forever. Like as a child with playing cards to my first spiritual deck over a decade ago. But I don't even need them anymore. The messages come through before I even look at them, right? That's that marathon training that I've been doing, okay, for the last year and a half. If you've known me for 2 years, you're like, you never would have seen this coming. Maybe you DM'd me and asked me for a reading because once a year I posted an angel card and I ignored you because I was like, I'm not doing your reading. Look at the shift. It's the training, okay? It's the patience with yourself and listening to your soul. So the Nine of Cups in reverse is telling me that the biggest thing that we need to step into is, number one, stop waiting for instant gratification. Don't think that because it's not working out right away, that boom, that's not it. That's not the answer. But also calling you to be present, like I was saying, in the moment. Enjoy the things that you have right now to celebrate instead of mourning what you think you're not going to get yet, okay? Be here now. Celebrate every win now, even if it's that you allowed yourself to meditate for 2 minutes. Don't go, well, I should be connecting to Jesus. Like, no. Start by meditating for 2 minutes, okay? Being still. And don't expect thoughts not to come through your head. Imagine that they're floating through and there's a trap door on the side of your head and just spit them out, but they're going to keep coming, okay? It's practice. The next thing that you have to understand with the High Priestess in reverse, this is all things I already said, that everything that you need to know is already inside of you. You don't have to be like, don't get in the education trap where you're like, oh, well, I have to learn about this, that. Why, yes, you do want to learn. You do want to be open to new information. You do want to read books. You do want to educate yourself. That shouldn't be a pathway of procrastination to prevent you from doing the action. That's that toxic femininity, right? We want a balance of both. So if you want to read books, right? Like Mary Magdalene Revealed was a big one for me. For example, to kind of really start activations within me of deconditioning myself from some religious ideas that were generated by man that started as a source thing, but has been integrated and changed throughout history to benefit the agenda of man's desire for money and control and power, okay? And by doing that, I was able to release so much tension and blockages and fear and connect to God in a way that I never have before. And it has opened up so much. So understanding that, yes, you want to take in that information, but you also want to do the action as well. Starting that meditation process, going back, if you're feeling called to journal, to free write, do that. Whatever it is that you're being called to do to bring you back home to yourself. Obviously, I'm speaking of meditation and prayer because that's what's really important to me. I am a person that is aligned with soul work, spiritual work, okay? But whatever that is for you, maybe what makes you feel at home in your soul is putting down the phone and taking a pottery class, or maybe you used to knit or crochet or do embroidery or anything creative with your hands, anything that maybe it's playing with your children, baking a cake. Maybe you don't know what it is yet because at this point in your life, you still haven't given yourself a chance to figure it out. You're being called to do that now. You're being called to do that now. You're being called to allow yourself to slow down. Do something this week. Do something this week that does that for you. And Five of Swords in reverse, it's just like, do not engage in, like, it's kind of left field with the whole thing, but like, do not engage with people that are going to make you, actually, it's not. if people are going to make you feel guilty for this, for this whole come back home to yourself thing, don't take it personally. Understand that if anybody is making you feel guilty for trying to find a healthy balance, that they're somehow worried about how your balance will negatively affect them. That's their thing to deal with, not yours, okay? Healthy balance. I will never tell you, slow down, don't work, don't go for your goals. Hell no. I am a goal-driven. I will never stop with my goals. I have big dreams for my family. My desire for abundance has not ended. I know that I will make $1 million. I know that we are going to be well off because I trust. And I trust that I can do that while coming back home to myself at the same time, while also making time to be present with my kids, while also making time to connect to my soul purpose, while also making time to, like, you know, integrate what I do for work as well, like balance. If you hear what I'm saying and you think that I'm telling you that you can stop everything, stop every responsibility and just go, you know, on a hike, on a retreat in the woods for a year. That's not what I'm saying. Unless you can, good for you. I fucking wish. But I'm saying don't no longer neglect the space and respect for quiet time. Give it the same respect that you give the hustle time. Give the desire for money that you have, the desire for material gains that you have, your goals that you have, give the same respect for being present with yourself, fulfilling your cup, fulfilling your soul, because that's what's going to give you this. Because you know that you could go, and if you're empty, you're going to be anxious, you're going to be burnt out, you're not going to be fun to be around, and you're probably going to repel what you want to bring in, even though you're working so hard because your energy's off. But if you work and then you also come home to yourself, right? And you are open to receive and you're present, you're going to find more gratitude in the moment. You're going to find happiness in the moment. You're going to learn not to always be living in the future, fearing what's coming or what's not. And you're going to be like a magnet and you're going to pull every goal to yourself. It's a balance. So remove yourself from any person that makes you feel guilty for finding a balance, okay? Balance of both worlds. And you know, you can't always block people from making comments at you, but you only know what's inside of you, right? Everything's inside of you, and you can learn not to take it so personally. Now, understand, like with anything, give yourself grace. This is not going to happen overnight. This is something that it's spiritual work. To learn how to scrape off what you have literally like encompassed over yourself over the years, and to access what's inside, and to learn not to let the projections of others affect your idea of what you're worth and who you are. That is hard. I mean, I shouldn't say hard. It's not hard, but it requires dedicated spiritual, soul, emotional, mental healing work. To be able to say, wow, that person just treated me like shit, instead of, wow, them, or, oh my God, I suck, I'm horrible. To realize, like, I wonder what I'm mirroring to them right now, but also minding your business at the same time and respecting what you're doing for yourself and understanding that nobody is you, right? And nobody's going to value you as much as you're supposed to value you. So it's a process and it's a road, but you will never get to that destination of being able to have that border, to not take things personally, to protect your energy, to know who you are so firmly that nobody can shake that with anything that they do or say. I had to go through abandonment so many times in my life up until a year and a half ago, not even, to the point where the abandonment would consistently put me in periods of isolation, of viewing every single person in the world around me as an enemy, where, you know, so-and-so would abandon me and I would be like, everybody's evil, everybody's out to get me, everybody wants to hurt me, I need to lock myself away in the darkness, everyone is better off away from me, I don't want to give anyone a chance, right? And in that darkness was when I really learned who I am. And I learned that someone else's actions is not a reflection of me, it is a reflection of them. And now my belief in myself and what I stand for and what I know to be true from within me, my truth, maybe not your truth, my truth, is so firm and integrated in every cell of my being that no one can take that from me. And that is nothing I had before. That is the opposite of what I've had for the first 27 years of my life. So, like, you're being called to have that for yourself. My truth might be different than your truth. My experience is probably different than your experience. But we all come together as one unique puzzle to form this integration of a higher vibration, light-filled earth, not density, division, hate, and lies. Okay? So, crowning the reading, which is so perfect now that I'm seeing it, is the Two of Wands. Okay? And I love that they're holding an earth in the shape of a heart. We started with earth, the heartbeat of earth. Remember, I started by saying the heart of earth. Like literally that the core of earth is the literal heart of earth, the life source of earth in this person's hand. They are putting away this old way of being, this old way of thinking. They have not even, they took their hand off of this one and instead decided to hold this earth in the shape of a heart and hold the wand that is looking out on the horizon, which represents like travel through a new experience, following your heart. Okay, so wow, that was cool. It all came together beautifully. Of course, it always does, and that has nothing to do with me. I'm just the vessel, and I'm grateful to be able to bring that to you guys. So if you like this, whether you are watching the recording or you are live, I would love it if you could share it, comment on it, let me know, DM me. This was really powerful, and I really am grateful to be in a position today where I can share these messages. So thank you. Bye.